If you're looking into the E-2 or any type of investor's visa to get into the United States, in this video, there's not better person to learn from an actual immigrant in the United States and business owner have grown the business as well. So in this video, I'll show you exactly the steps. First of all, what is an investor's visa and the best opportunity to invest into a business in the United States and actually grow the business, but at the same time, it being a great investment for E-2 visa seekers. So stay tuned and let's get started. There are different types of investors visa. One of them is the EB-5. You have the E-2 visa, which is meant for more treaty nations. And for either of these two visas, you have to invest a certain amount of money, depending on the type of visa, into the United States, that being in a business, for example. And you have to be continually running the business. So it's not just investing once and you're done. So it is important that you get into a business that you actually are looking forward to grow and expand. So they are gonna wanna be in a great business as well, not just anything to invest so that they can acquire the visa. It might as well, since you're investing the money, get into a great business and a great way to actually utilize and be running the business and have success. So I've actually known people that invested as low as $50,000 in businesses for E-2 visa, for example. Other visas such as the EB-5, it requires a much bigger investment, right? So it really depends on where you are, also what's your situation is. And if you are in one of those treaty countries that you can search for and ask a qualified attorney, they will be able to tell you as well which works best. Or simply feel free to send me an email, which will be in the description of this video right here, and you can ask me questions. I'll be happy to help with what I can. So regardless if you had the visa or not, when you're looking for businesses to invest, great businesses can be those that doesn't require huge capital, even from the beginning, from where to invest, but also continuous capital allocation on the business to keep the operations running of the business. So you don't want to take the risk of having capital intensive businesses to run. So you start off with a certain amount, and for you to keep operations, you have to keep dumping money in the business. You don't want that, because not only are you already spending a great amount of money on the visa part to acquire the investor's visa, and you don't want to run the risk of running out of money, and then not only do you get into a bad business and the business can go bankrupt, but worst of it is you can lose your visa because your business is not running anymore because it requires such a huge capital allocation. So number one is low capital allocation throughout the operations of it. Normally, businesses that doesn't require as much capital allocation are also those that doesn't require huge overhead capital to actually start the business. Of course, there is a limit, because as an investor, you have to invest a certain amount of money. But if you are in between the $50,000 to $100,000 investment, at least if you're on the E-2 visa, for example, then between $50,000 and $100,000 investment is great, because you're in that gap limit, but you're also not overspending. Businesses like that are normally service business. I'm an example. I am on the service business, and it's great because it doesn't require that huge capital if you don't need a big overhead like a store, a location, actually a building for you to maintain or for you to have. You don't want to take huge risk on starting something new, something that it hasn't been proven yet. Maybe it's a service business that already exists in the market, but it's a brand new business. You're starting off from scratch, because then you could be shooting in the dark. You're starting a business, you throughout the process, if you're starting a brand new business, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to invest, you don't know how much money you're going to spend to keep the business running, and you're not just investing that initial money on random things that you don't know if it's going to work or not. For example, if you're starting a service business and you decide that you want to buy a shop or do a certain service, whatever service it may be, or buy a store, for example, you may be buying equipment that is not necessary for the actual growth of your business, and you're just doing it so that you can invest enough money for your visa. And then you're pretty much on the side of the business, you're throwing money away, but you're doing it with your focus on the visa. So you might as well want to get into a successful business. And that brings me to the point what I do is franchising. Investing in a franchise business is great because you have all your pathway written, and you have proven results from existing franchise systems. That's what franchise does. It offers a system for you if you own a franchise, especially in the service business, because you allocate, you get best of both worlds. And you have everything ready, and even how much money you're going to spend exactly to the T, the initial investment, it is there when you acquire a franchise. So you're not just throwing random money away for the sake of your visa. You're actually investing towards the business on something that actually works, and your career is, pretty much set on the right path. What type of exact businesses am I talking about here? So a business such as, which I am in, is Wings Mobile Detailing, with great success, especially for immigrants as well, because the path is everything is set up and the right investment at first. But it's a service business that doesn't require the huge capital at first. And to give you a rundown of the operations of it is, you start step by step. So you invest money in the business as you grow, as you get cash flow from the business, meaning you build your equipment, you build your van, the support of acquiring clients, of all the website, and all the structure with an operations manual will be provided to you, because in this case it is Wings Mobile Detailing franchise. It is a franchise, so you have everything set given to you with a proven method for you to also succeed once you acquire your visa as well. So this is the beginning. You get that van, everything ready, set up, and you may want to be the operator or non-operator of the business, meaning, are you looking into doing the technical work, or no, you want to be literally the investor of the business, hire employees and start with one employee, and having your manager that you would hire to run the business, so you don't have to get your hands dirty and you do the technical work yourself. You have that choice in your case. So you may be focused with many other things. Maybe back in your country, you have to go back and forth, or stay in the United States. Or during this process that the business ought to be running, you also want to focus on that, on a business that doesn't require you to actually run it if you don't, if you don't want to, if that's not your case. We have other things to focus on. So a pathway, everything is written, being a franchise business, for you to be the owner, non-operator as well. And another great thing with the franchising as well is that your employee, your manager, will be provided with all the training. So the time that you would spend on teaching them from zero, you're not starting from zero. You're starting with a franchise, a proven system, and everything, training systems. Franchise must have at least an on-demand training systems for your employees as well. Aside from providing training in the headquarters for your manager or for you yourself, but an on-demand online training has to be in place so that you can actually be more of the hands-off. That's what is gonna bring you the result. But now in the process of growing your business, the focus would be to then, as you get busy with one van full of clients, you're already producing cash flow, then you focus on, okay, I'm going to double my business, I'm going to grow. So I'll acquire another van, I'll purchase or finance, however it may be, equipment, which takes a matter of 2 weeks for you to get everything completed, and then you have another stream of income. So that is done step by step. That's what's great about it, is because the low overhead. So as you grow, you're investing the money back so that you can actually make more money, of course, because you're going to have more vans and so forth. So the wheels will be turning like that. I know this process can be extremely overwhelming when you're dealing with timelines. Perhaps you already have an attorney that's taking care of your case for you, and now you have to find business. Now it's a whole different process of you having to find a great business. All this process can take a lot of times, and anxiety can grow, and you have a lot of things that can go wrong. So, but being in a great franchise system, that people also have knowledge and an understanding of all this anxiety on how difficult it is, it goes a long way. It will help to, at least it will help you minimize the anxiety which you're gonna go through inevitably. Point number 4 here, when you're choosing the business as well, is on the demand. How is it growing? Are people going to always need such service? Because this will fall back to point number 1, where the business will have to be growing and you have to be operational. Otherwise, you run a big risk. So businesses or services that will also be in demand. And in this particular business, people are always going to have cars. People are always going to need their car cleaning. But the beauty of it is how spread out it is, how diversified our services are with Wings Mobile Detailing. So that's what I love about it, is because it's not just about cars, even though that would be just it, would be amazing. But we, being mobile, we also service and specialize and train the people with our training system through Wings. Train on detailing boats, because that's the services we provide for detailing boats, RVs, trucks, airplanes as well. So all vehicles, not just cars. It's a mobile detailing company, and with that, we'll also take away a lot of the pain, a lot of the stress that you already been going through. And not only that, but understanding what you go through and the process, the steps you have to take. So consider that if you want to know about the Wings Mobile Detailing franchise and start, schedule free consultation as well, feel free to click on the link of the description below, franchise.wingsmobiledetailing.com. That's just my take. But if you want to get in contact directly with me, you can also feel free to send me an email and subscribe to the channel, because I'll go also on the day-to-day of running the business as well on this particular channel. So make sure to subscribe, and you guys will also, during this process, see how I take my day-to-day.